Are you a sourcer and looking to stand out in 2023? Watch this video right now. I'm going to give you 5 ways to stand out as a sourcer. Hey, welcome to the Millionaire Recruiter. I'm Brandon Rooney, your Millionaire Recruiter. If you have not seen this channel before, it's all about making you the next Millionaire Recruiter, and let's up that game of yours, right? So, you're a sourcer. Are you a good sourcer, a great sourcer, or just one that's getting by? Let's make you that great, amazing sourcer, because trends now, although I feel as if it's changing a little bit, but right now a sourcer and a full cycle recruiter can have a very similar path and essentially make just about the same money. But it all depends on what you're actually looking to do and what your money goals are and if you're internal versus external. So in my opinion, maybe because I'm biased because I love being a sourcer, but in my opinion, if you are a badass sourcer, you will always have a job in recruiting and you will always do well. If you just know how to manage candidate experience, you're not necessarily as valuable as a sourcer. So let's really up that game of yours. First and foremost, as a sourcer, you must use and do a sourcing map. Don't know what a sourcing map is? Yeah, because I made it up. So look at the video. I have a video that it will link you to how do you build a sourcing map. But essentially all that is it's looking at the job description, looking at the hiring manager that's in charge of this role, and really finding any kind of common denominators you see that will better serve you than the job description. Because naturally, people gravitate to who they like and who they know. Does that cause bias? Yes, it does. But remember, as a sourcer, not only do you want to make them think wider and broader, however, you also need to get the job done, which is get that hire and find that right person. So finding common denominators can be a really amazing tool that you can use via sourcing map. Another thing is do more. Please do more. I think that this is a whole life skill because you're never going to get in trouble for doing more. You might get taken advantage for doing more. However, you have to make sure that your confidence is high and you are asking for what you want. What drives me crazy is when people want more but don't want to do more. Silly, right? So whenever I see someone do more and they're being capable of doing more, I'm naturally going to be like, I see you, let's do more together. So you really want to show them that not only can you be a badass sourcer, but you think like a full cycle recruiter. You understand candidate experience. You know how to drive process. That's so important, right? So you shouldn't just care about that you found someone that's great. You should care about that person you found that was great actually made it to the final rounds and got an offer. Again, depending on your job, you might not get to see them all the way through, but you want to make sure that they got all the way through and that you're keeping that in mind, because if you're sending them great people that aren't going through, naturally you have to change your search. But no one might tell you that, so you have to pay attention, which means you do more. Another thing, and another way to stand out as a sourcer is to go on tangents and rabbit holes. So you want to search for and find the people that no one else is searching for. I think, well, okay, fine, I won't tangent on this video, but I personally think that recruiters do the same thing, sourcers do the same thing every single day. And a lot of them get caught into next page, next page, next page. You want to find the gold. You want to find the people that don't want to be found, which means you have to go on tangents. Do I have a video for this? Is it in my Thriversity course? Absolutely. So check that out below. It can take you there. Tangent sourcing is one of my favorite ways to source. Another thing is, it's kind of related, is you want to use less Booleans. Now you're probably thinking, I just learned how to do Booleans, which of course we have videos for as well, and you can have really powerful Boolean searches as a sourcer. However, the least amount of Booleans you use, a better way to find unhidden talent. Because most recruiters, most sourcers rely solely on Boolean, which is silly. You want it to be very broad. Now, could you be a sniper sourcer? Absolutely, which means you have a lot of Booleans, but that search is over relatively quick. In order to be a sniper, you're only looking at 50 to 100 profiles at the very most. So you should get done with that within an hour, right? So use less Booleans, keep it broad, keep your eyes and ears open. And I know this isn't exactly about the subject, but please don't source for more than 45 minutes at a time. Your mind is not thinking clearly, looking clearly. You're just not doing great work. Remember, it's very important to be efficient and use every minute to the most. And number 5, the 5th way to stand out as a sourcer in 2023 is to focus on, I'm going to hit you with 2, focus on inclusive sourcing and, wait for it, intentional sourcing. Okay, I am doing, if you don't know already, but I am doing the Millionaire Recruiter program, helping people start their own agency. I was talking to someone and she's like, she was so jazzed, she was so in it, and she was like, I'm the best intentional sourcer. And I was like, oh, that's such a, I haven't heard intentional sourcing, and I was so excited to learn something from a student that I really wanted to put it in this video. So yes, inclusive sourcing, which is DEI, very, very, very important to always have a diverse pipeline. If you can do 50%, you're nailing it. But I also wanted to add intentional sourcing, because intentional sourcing really just means that you're focusing on the job at hand. I think lots of times, especially as an external recruiter, you're trying to have tons of overlap, which you should do. But if you're sourcing essentially for 10 different clients for one role, you're not really being intentional with your sourcing. That's kind of interesting, and I know I'm contradicting myself here, but you should have that also in your arsenal, in your tool bag, is that you should say, okay, I know that I have 10 clients that I could fill this role with, but I'm going to only focus on this one, and they're mission driven, and I'm going to be very intentional with my sourcing. And that is so huge. So thank you, student, for that, which we're actually calling an entrepreneur. So anyways, quick recap on the 5 ways to stand out as a sourcer in 2013. Sourcing map, do more, go on tangents, use less Booleans, and inclusive and intentional sourcing. So go get it. You guys are the key that really gets companies flowing and makes them successful. So love your job, do this job great. I can't wait to see you guys thrive this year, so it's exciting. And if you need help, we can do a sourcing jam with you, which is via Thriversity, or you can even take one of our courses if you're ready to try this on your own, because I gotta tell you, I don't think you'll ever be mad at yourself for starting your own business. Pretty good time. All right, I will see you every Thursday at noon, and do not forget that money is just a vessel to do all the amazing things you want to go do in life, so go live it. See you next Thursday.